Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. Okay, let me top on my screen. Yeah, here. Okay, I hope you can see me. Yeah, I hope. Okay, so if you can see it, so you can type one in the chat box and I will see that. I can see that. Let me test my. Okay. Hello, hello. Let me test my. Okay. So if you can see the screen, please type one. Wait, please type one. We will start in just at 7:10. Okay. So if you have already done the paper, so can you tell me you feel like this 25 question, is it easier than last year, or maybe it's you feel like it's just normal? Okay. So you feel it's very hard or something else? You can type in the chat box. Okay, let's wait for another 4 minutes. I will start at 7:15. Hello, is there anyone here? If no one here, if you are here, you just type one. Okay, I can see you. So later we will start our run through at 7:15. Okay, at 7:15. Yeah. Okay. Hi, I saw you, Xinyi. Okay, so time's up. We just start now. Okay. So I think the paper actually is not so hard because I saw some of you just get more than 50 marks, more than 50 out of 100. So I think compared to last year, if you get more than 50, so yeah, you can definitely get at least a gold. Okay, you can definitely get at least a gold. So this year, I don't know. I saw the real paper actually is also maybe a little harder, maybe a little harder. But actually, if you in the real paper, you can also get 50. Yes, I hope you can also get a gold medal. Start now. So the first question is a math teacher. 50, 50. Okay, 50. So yeah, for the first one, you can see this is just to find out a pattern. Find out a pattern. Yeah, find the first one is one, and second one, okay, so it's five. So and remember, this kind of diagram is based on the previous one. It's based on the previous one. I have more points. I have more points. So that means this one actually gives you the hint. I want to find out a pattern. That means I need to find out the next number, any relationship between the second one and the first one, the third one and the second one. So after that, you can find out that. So the first one is 1, and the second one is 1 plus 4. 1 plus 4. And the third one actually is 5 plus 7. And the fourth one is 12 plus 10. And the last one is 22 plus 13. 22 plus 13. Then you can find a very interesting thing is that every time I plus 7, plus 4, plus 7, plus 10, and plus 13. That means the every term I plus a kind of arithmetic sequence. Okay, I plus a arithmetic sequence. So it should be 1 plus 3 times n minus 1 equals to 3n minus 2. So this is the pattern. This is the pattern. So we can find out an actually equals to an minus 1 plus 3n minus 2. Then you can find out the pattern. Then you can find out the pattern. So a6 equals to what? A5, which is 35. Then plus 3 sorry, 3 times 6 minus 2 equals to 18. So A6 equals to 51. And A7, yeah, this one equals to 51 plus 19 equals to 70. Then A8 equals to 70 plus 22 equals to 92. Then A9 equals to 92 plus 25 equals to 117 equals to 117. Okay, so here is the pattern. Then we can find out affected by week 9. It's just the 117. It's just the 117. So the first question, yeah, maybe a little hard, but actually it's not so hard, right? You can find out that the pattern and it related to the arithmetic sequence. Let's solve it. Okay. About the second one, a task. So this question is a very typical work rate problem. For the work rate problem, you need to find out the relationship between the work rate and time. Work rate and time. So let's write down the table. This is the time, and then it's the speed. Actually, it's the rate, and also about the work. Right. So the first one, you need to care about the time. So after you read the question, we know if A and B work together, they can complete it within the specific time. So we don't know that time. Maybe we can just assume t. So this is t, and the speed is A and B work together. So they finally complete this work. And for the second scenario, this is the first scenario, right? So for the second scenario, we can find out that if A increases his efficiency by 1/3, so now it will become 4 over 3 VA, right? 4 over 3 VA. And the B never changed, so plus VB. So the work is 1. So the time is 5 over 6t. The time is 5 over 6t. And about the third one, we know the time is t plus 75. We know the third one, t is t plus 75. And finally, yes, the speed is VA plus 3 over 4 VB. And also we complete this one. So now let's compare them. So remember, this is a kind of work rate problem, so we need to find out the proportional and inverse proportional relationship. So let's compare 1 and 2. Let's compare 1 and 2 scenario. So what is the time ratio? The time ratio actually is 6 to 5. Actually, is 6 to 5, right? Then, because we have the same work, the work 1 won't change. That means the speed ratio actually is the inverse proportional to the time ratio. So the speed ratio actually it will become 5 to 6. It will become 5 to 6. Then, what is the speed ratio? We can find VA plus VB. 2. 4 over 3 VA plus VB equals to 5 to 6. Equals to 5 to 6. Then you can just try to solve that. You can find out VA to VB actually equals to 3 to 2. Equals to 3 to 2. Now, after that, VA equals to 3 unit. Then VB equals to 2 unit. We can just assume like that. And now let's compare the first scenario and the third scenario. We can find this time what is the time ratio. It will become T over T plus 75. And then what's the time ratio equals to what? Equals to the inverse proportional of the speed ratio. Then we can take the place of unit. It will become 3 plus 3 over 2 units over 5 units. Then after that, you can do the simplify. We can find 5t equals to 9 over 2t plus 75 times 9 over 2. Then after that, you can solve that t actually equals to 675. And remember, this time the unit here is minutes. Is minutes. But we need to do what? We need to find out what is the specific time in hours. So we need to transfer it into 11.25 hours. 11.25 hours. So the answer is 11.25. The answer is 11.25. Okay, you can see at this place. So this one is a test about the work rate problem. The distance ratio work problem. We can just ratio, speed ratio. And remember, if the distance is set, we can just find out the time ratio equals to the inverse proportional of the speed ratio. And similarly, speed ratio equals to the inverse proportional of time ratio. So this is about this question. And so now let's look at our third question. This one actually is a very easy one, right? It's just to test you about the fraction decomposition. You can find this one actually plus 2 over 2 times 3 minus 5 plus 3 over 3 times 5 plus 8 plus 5 over 5 times 8 minus 12 plus 8 over 8 times 12. Huh? Oh no, something wrong with my... Is there something wrong with my internet? Okay, it's okay. So then plus 17 plus 12 over 12 times 17 minus 23 plus 17 over 17 times 23 and plus 30 plus 23 over 23 times 30. After that, we just open it, right? So it will become 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3 minus 1 over 3 minus 1 over 5 plus 1 over 5 plus 1 over 8 minus 1 over 8 minus 1 over 12. Then plus 1 over 12 minus, plus 1 over 17 minus 1 over 17 minus 1 over 12, 23. Then plus 1 over 23 plus 1 over 30. Then after that, once you open this fraction, you can find out the pattern. We can do the cancel all the things. And remaining things is just 1 over 2 plus 1 over 30. So this one, the answer is 8 over 15. Okay, so this one is 8 over 15. This is also a very easy question. You just find out the pattern. Actually, the numerator is the sum of this product, and the denominator is a times b. Numerator is a plus b. That means we can separate like that. We can separate like that. Okay, so now let's look at the question 4. Question 4 is a real AMO question. I think most of you have already seen that before. Okay, so now we have ABCD and AECF is a kind of parallelogram. AC equals to AD. Okay, where is AC? So we don't have. That means the first step, we need to connect this AC. We need to connect this AC. So after that, what can we find? So we know the question have already give you AC equals to AD equals to CF. That means we have a lot of isosceles triangle, right? CB equals to CA equals to AD. This is a kind of isosceles triangle. So that means, what else do I need to know? Yeah, I only know the one angle BCF. I only know this one BCF, but I want to find out the bigger one ECD. I want to find out a bigger one, ECD. So it seems I need to find out this 46 degrees, any relationship between this 46 degrees and the bigger angle, ECD, and the bigger angle, ECD. So maybe it's a little hard, but actually, let's try to find out that. So we know this line AC separate this BCF into two parts. So let's assume this angle equals to alpha, this angle equals to beta. Okay, so alpha and beta. And because BC is parallel to AC, so that means this angle is also alpha and this angle is also beta. So now, how about this angle ECA? Let's try to find out ECA. Angle ECA equals to 180 degrees minus beta, then divide by 2. 180 degrees minus beta, then divide by 2. This is about the ECA. This is about ECA. So we can just find out that sorry, we can just find out that equals to 90 degrees minus beta over 2. And how about angle ACD? How about angle ACD? We can use the similar method. 180 degrees minus alpha divided by 2. This one is 90 degrees minus what? Minus alpha over 2. And then, what do we need to find out? We need to find out this angle ECD. What is angle ECD? Yes, we just plus them together. Angle ECD equals to angle ECA plus angle ACD. Actually, is 90 degrees minus beta over 2 plus 90 degrees minus alpha over 2. So this one equals to 180 degrees minus alpha plus beta over 2. So now, do we need to calculate alpha and beta equals to what? We don't need. We just need to know alpha plus beta equals to 46 degrees. Then this one actually is 180 degrees minus 23. Minus 23 degrees. So the answer is 157 degrees. So the answer is just the 157 degrees. Okay, so this is about a question 4. This is about a question 4. So now let's look at another one. Let's look at another one. So if the largest factor of a natural number is equal to the product of all its other factors, we call this kind of number is a perfect numbers, right? Perfect numbers. So can you find out the numbers of perfect numbers between 2 and 100? Between 2 and 100. Okay, so this one, remember, if I have a perfect number, of course, we need to do what? So if I randomly give you one number n, so there must be a group of number is 1 times n. So that means what? That means we know the biggest one, the largest factor must be this n. must be this n. So that means I want to find out the largest factor between them, and also we only have how many? We can have two factors, right? Can we have two factors? No. If we only have two factors, one is 1 and the other is n, the largest one. So that means this one must be a kind of prime number, right? Must be a kind of prime number. So the other factors is only 1. It cannot be the largest one if I calculate the product. So which means I need to find out a number only has 4 factors. Only has 4 factors. So you see, n can equals to 2 to the power of a times 3 to the power of b times 5 to the power of c and times 7 to the power of d and 11 to the power of e and 13 to the power of f. So remember, I only need to do what? I only need to find out any factors with 4 factors. It's like a to the power of 3. Maybe I change the number. It's like x to the power of 3. Or what else? X times y. X times y. So remember, we write in this form is like the prime factorization. So x and y, they are all prime number. They are all prime numbers. So x to the power of 3 and x times y. So x and y, x to the power of 3 is all prime numbers. Then we just need to find out that, right? You can list, you can just do the combination. So for 2, if we choose x equals to 2, so y can be what? Y can be 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, 47. You just need to find out after we times up, the number is smaller than 100, right? So if x equals to 3, y can be what? Y can be 5, 7, and continue. So then which one we cannot use? We cannot use until 31. If x equals to the next one, 5, y can be 7, 11, or small, until 19. I think until 19. And if x equals to maybe 7, y can be what? Y can be 11, 13. So this is all the things about x to the power 3. And how about x times y? X times y. So for x times y, we only have 2 to the power 3, 3 to the power of 3. Okay? 2 to the power of 3, 3 to the power of 3. So this one, yeah, you just count, right? You just count. How many do we have? Then you can find out the answer is 32. The answer is 32. Okay? So these are all the largest factors of a natural number is equals to the product of all its other factors. So we call this one a kind of perfect numbers. Okay. Okay. So now let's look at the question 6. In a rectangle ABCD. So ABCD, the areas of 2 triangles are given. If AE equals to 1 over 5 AB. So you can assume, right? This part is 8. This part should be 4A. So we need to find out the quadrilateral ADOE. I want to find out this part, right? The only things I have already tell you is 16 and 20. 16 and 20. So this one, of course, we can, if I want to calculate this quadrilateral, we have two steps. One, if this is a regular shape, can we just calculate directly? Maybe use the base time height. But this question is not a kind of regular shape. It's not a kind of regular shape. That means we cannot do like that. We cannot do like that. So now for the regular things, we can just use the big area to minus the small area. Or I can use what? I can separate into several regular shape. We can separate into regular shape. Right? So I connect what? I connected this DE. So after I connected this DE, you can find a lot of things. Because we have a rectangle, so this is a two parallel AB and CD. So that means BOC is 20, so EDO is also 20. And now that means the ratio is very important. EO to OC, which is 4 to 5. That means EO this area to ODC's area is also 4 to 5 because they share the same height. So this ODC should be 25. Should be 25. And what else? We know this is 16, this is 20. So triangle AED must be 1 over 4 of this triangle EDB. Then you can finally calculate triangle AED actually equals to 9. Equals to 9. 36 divided by 4 equals to 9. So this one, the area is 9. Then if I want to calculate ADOE, so the answer is 29. Okay? This is a very easy question. You just use the kite model and the butterfly model. You can easily solve that. You can easily solve that. Okay? So now let's look at our question 7. The store purchased a batch of pens at a price of $10.9 per pen and sold them at $14 per pen. So we don't know how many pens we buy. We can just assume we buy X pens. Okay, we buy X pens. And after that, I know how many I sell 4 over 5X. And remember, not only did they recover the entire cost, but also made a profit of $150. Then we can list the algebra equation. It will be 4 over 5x times 14 equals to 10.9x plus 150. Okay? So after that, this will become 11.2x equals to 10.9x plus 150. So 0.3x equals to 150, x equals to 500. Okay? So x equals to 500. So actually we have 500 pairs. We have 500 pairs. So the next one, if Kevin, yes, Kevin wrote whole number starting from 1, then he put maybe this a sign behind every 3 digits below. 1, 2, 3 star, 4, 5, 6 star, 7, 8, 9 star, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2. So this is just like a page problem, right? So just count how many digits do we have. From 1 to 9, I have 9 digits. From 10 to 99, I have 180 digits. Then from 100 to x, we have x minus 99 times 3. So now, until here, right, I want to find out a 150 star. So that means I have 150 times 3 equals to 450. So 450 minus 189, I have 261 remaining. So then let's calculate 261. Every one star, we have 3 digits. So 261, we just by 3. You can find out the answer is 87. So it's 87. That means after 100, I need 87 numbers, right? So that means this 100 plus 86 equals to 186. Then this star actually is the 150th star. Okay, 150 star. So the number before that is just the 6. It's just the 6. Okay. So about question 9. Yeah, this is a very easy combination question, right? We do it in P4. This is a kind of P4 question. So now I have how many points do we have? We have, you can count from A to L. We have 12 points. And now let's ignore that some points on one line and some points on the other line. So in total, if I randomly choose 3 points, how many choices do we have? It should be 12, choose 3. It should be 12, choose 3. And after that, right? After that, we can subtract what? We should subtract. We cannot choose the 3 point on a straight line, on a same line, right? We cannot minus them. So 12C3, we need to minus 6, choose 3, then minus 5, choose 3, then minus 4, choose 3. Okay, so it will become 220 minus 10 minus 4. So the answer should be 186. So the answer should be 186. Okay, so this is how many such triangles can be formed. So yeah, now let's look at question 10. Question 10 is a very easy ratio distance question, a distance speed ratio question. So we just need to find out the ratio, right? So here we know is if his father drives him from home to school in 30 minutes, but his mother can drive him 24 kilometers per hour faster than his father and gets him to school 8 minutes earlier. Okay, so we can just assume father's speed equals to F, equals to V, and mom's speed actually is V plus 24. Is V plus 24. Now we know a very important thing. The speed ratio actually equals to the inverse proportional of time ratio. So VF to VM actually equals to time M to time father. Okay? We can find V to V plus 24 equals to what? Equals to 22 to 30 because 8 minutes before. Remember, someone may ask, okay, teacher, this time you see this is 24 kilometer per hour, but the time ratio I just used the minutes. Is that okay? Yes. Remember, no matter how I use the minutes or hour, the ratio won't change. The ratio won't change. So we just keep the ratio same. So now let's do the simplify. It will become 22V plus 528 equals to 30V. So you can easily get 8V equals to 528. Then V equals to 66 kilometer per hour. Okay, V equals to 66 kilometer per hour. Then we want to find out the school and home's distance. We just use 66 times 0.5 hours equals to 33 kilometers. So the answer should be 33 kilometers. Okay, as you can see, from question 1 to question 10 is super easy, right? This is a kind of, I think, is the Nemo's difficulty level. Most difficulty level. Maybe the question 5 is a little hard, but once you find out that actually I need to find out we only have 4 factors, then all the things will be very easy. All the things will be very easy. Okay, so all the other question is just the Nemo's level. So let's quickly run through it. Now let's look at our section B. Begin with section B, you need to have more information. You get at least more concept about the prime number and something about the number theory. Okay. So firstly, let's look at the question. A, B, C, D are 4 composite numbers less than 16. So they are pairwise relatively prime. Okay, so they are all prime. And the maximum sum of these 4 composite numbers is what? So we need to do what? I need to do a very important thing. I need to let every composite number as big as possible. Because I want to find out the maximum sum, right? So what is the biggest the biggest composite numbers less than 16? It should be 58. So we can find out the biggest. It should be 58. And 58 equals to what? 2 times 29. That means once I choose this 2 times 29, I cannot choose any 2 and 29 more, right? This 2 prime number, we can never choose again. So then let's talk about 57. 57 equals to 3 times 19. Yes, we can choose that. Then 56, 2 times 28. That means we cannot do that. So the next one, 55 equals to 5 times 11. Yes, it's possible, right? And now 53. 53 is a prime number. We cannot. 52, no. 51, we have 3 times 17. Also, no. So the next one should be 49 equals to 7 times 7. Yes, we can. Now I have already find out this A, B, C, D, the 4 biggest number. So the sum actually equals to 219. 219. Okay. So for question 12, a 1 over a plus 1 over c equals to 1, and a, b, c are all positive integers. So how many different values for a plus b plus c do we have? So firstly, I think the most easiest one is 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3. So this is the one you can just guess, right? You can just guess and find out the answer. But actually, we cannot just guess, right? So we need to find out a way to prove that how many do we have. So because A, B, C, they are just symmetric, we can just move anywhere, right? So we just assume A is smaller or equals to B and smaller or equals to C. So then you can find out what is the biggest number. So first one, A must smaller or equals to 4 because the maximum is 1 over A plus 1 over B plus 1 over C equals to 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4 equals to 3 over 4. Have already smaller than 1. So that means 4 is the biggest number we can choose. So the second one, let's think about if A equals to 1, is it possible? Obviously not. If A equals to 1, BC, we don't have any choice, right? It's impossible. So A cannot equals to 1. The third part, if A equals to 2, that means what? That means half plus 1 over B plus 1 over C equals to 1. That means 1 over B plus 1 over C equals to 1 over 2. So now, if 1 over B plus 1 over C equals to 1 over 2, that means B equals to C equals to 1 over 4, or B equals to 3, C equals to 6. So I have two choices. Then the last one, we discussed A equals to 3. Yes, is it possible? Of course. 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3 equals to 1. So that means how many combinations do we have? We have 1, 2, and 3. So for A plus B plus C, how many choices? We have 3 different answers. We have 3 different values. Okay. Okay, so the question 13. Question 13 is a very easy calculation problem. So once you look at this kind of complex fraction, you can just do the flip. You can just do the reciprocal and then find out the answer. So firstly, we do the reciprocal. It should be 96 over 67 equals to 1 plus 29 over 67. Now I kill this one, right? I kill this one. After that, we flip this 29 over 67. 67 over 29. We can find it's 2 plus 9 over 29. 2 plus 9 over 29. Then we just flip again. 29 over 9 equals to 3 plus 2 over 9. And after that, flip again. 9 over 2 equals to equals to 4 plus 1 over 2. Then how about this x? X obviously equals to 2. X can only equals to 2. Okay, so this is super easy. Now let's look at our question 14. So question 14 is a little complex. It's a little complex ratio word problem. Why? The main problem is this time I have two bags. That means we need to read the question very carefully. So I have 2 bags of candies containing milk candies. So let's name it MC. Fruit candies, let's name it FC. And chocolate candies, it's very boring. Chocolate is chocolate. Candies is candies. I don't know what's the meaning of chocolate candies. So this is CC. It's just like that. Okay, so now let's find out the pattern here. Let's read the question step by step. For condition 1, the number of candies in the first bag is 2 over 3 of the number in the second bag. So that means I can separate here. First bag and the second bag. We can just assume this is 2 unit, this is 3 unit. So we have already solved this condition 1. And for the second condition, in the first bag, milk candies count for 25% of the total. Okay, so that means we can calculate the milk candy. Actually, is 5 times 2 unit equals to 0.5 unit equals to 0.5 unit. So we solve this one. While in the second bag, fruit candies count for 50% of the total. Oh, this is a little hard, right? Because we compare the first bag and the second bag at the same time. We compare the first bag and the second bag at the same time. Hey, that means what? That means maybe we need to assume something. So we assume CC, we have X. That means the percentage of chocolate candies in the first bag is actually X over 2 units. And this one equals to what? Equals to the CC in the twice the percentage in the second bag. That means this time CC equals to x over 2 unit times half, then times 3 unit. This one actually is 3 over 4x equals to 3 over 4x times unit. uh well, no, this unit we will cancel it, right? We cancel it. It's 3 over 4x. And what else do we know? When the two bags of candies are mixed, the chocolate candies count for 28% of the total candies. So that means we can find x plus 3 over 4x. X plus 3 over 4x actually equals to 0.28 times 5 unit. Then we can find out x equals to what? X equals to 0.8 unit. X equals to 0.8 unit. Now I know x equals to 0.8 unit. Of course I don't want to write all things in x or unit. It will be very hard. So I can just transfer, right? This one is 0.8 unit. And this part, 3 over 4x equals to 0.6 unit. 0.6 unit. Now, finally, what can we find? We want to find out the percentage of fruit candies in the first bag. So the fruit candies, yes, of course, it's just the 2 unit minus 0.5 unit minus 0.8 unit, then divide by 2 unit. It should be 35 percentage. Okay, it should be 35%. Okay, so this one actually is not so hard. Once you draw the table, then after that, you write down each condition. And after that, it will be very clear. It will be very clear. You just write down all the candies by unit. You can find out all the things. Okay, you can find out all the things. Okay, so now let's look at our question 15. Yeah, question 15 is a kind of question related to what? The circle and the sector. The circle and the sector. So that means we have already know about the circle and sector in our class. So we can know. Firstly, I want to find out the shaded part. So what is the shaded part? We can see it's combined with a big sector, right? A big sector and a small triangle, a small triangle. And if I want to do that, I need to minus this small triangle and this small sector. So it's very clear how to calculate the shaded area. So firstly, let's calculate this A, B, P prime C. Okay, let's calculate the A, B, P prime C, those things. So we know this one is combined with a sector and one triangle. So for this big sector, we know AB equals to 6. It's just the 1 over 4 times pi times 6 squared. Then after that, we need to plus this triangle PABP plus this triangle ABP, right? Because I moved this ABP here, so triangle BCP prime should equals to triangle ABP. So how about the shaded? How about the shaded part? The shaded part, you can see, I just use ABP prime C minus triangle ABP, then minus this PBP prime sector. Okay, PBP prime sector. So we can write down 1/4 times pi times 6 squared minus triangle. So this one we need to plus triangle ABP, then minus triangle ABP, then minus this PBP prime, which is 1/4 times pi times 4 squared. Okay, so minus this sector. So now we can do the cancellation. Cancel and cancel. It will become 1/4 times pi times 6 squared minus 4 squared. So you can find out it's 1/4 times pi times 20. So the answer is 5 pi. So the answer is 5 pi. Okay. It's also very easy. Yeah, don't be scared about this question. It will be very easy. So now let's look at our question 16. This is also not very hard, right? So we know the salt actually is $5 and the sugar actually is $9. Okay, so we know what Actually, we haven't solved all the things. So that means the real things I solved is x plus y is smaller than 350. It's smaller than 350. What else do we know? The total income is 2015. It's 2015. That means 5x plus 9y equals to 2015. We can get x actually equals to 2015 minus 9y over 5 minus 9y over 5. Then we do the simplify. It will become 403 minus 2y. Minus 2y. Then after that, I plus y over 5. This is a very special formula. Why? Remember, x and y, actually, I assume how many packet of salt and how many packet of sugar do we have. So now I have a y over 5 outside. That means what? This number y must be the multiple of 5. This y must be the multiple of 5. And what else do we know? We know the x, we know the x, we can replace this in this equation. Okay, so 403 minus 2y plus y over 5 plus y is smaller than 350. After that, let's solve this equation. Let's solve this equation. We can find y should bigger than 66 and 1 over 4. And be careful, we just say y must be the multiple of 5. So what is the minimum number of packets of sugar that the hawker could have sold? It must be the multiple of 5, which is 70, which is the smallest one, equals to 70, equals to 70. Okay, so this one a little hard, but you cannot just calculate here and write down the answer is 67. So that means we can have, maybe we cannot buy a fraction type of the sugar, right? We cannot buy the fraction of sugar. You must buy one packet. Okay, so now let's look at question 17. This one, yeah, this one maybe some of you want to use the Euler rule, maybe the Euler theorem, right? But this time, remember, the exponent is not a co-prime number. It's not a prime number. That means you cannot use that. I also tried but failed. Okay, so this one, yeah, we just need to find out a pattern. So about 6, we only need to find out the last 2 digits. So every time I divide by 100. So 6 congruent to 6 if I mod 100. And now how about 6 squared? 6 squared congruent to 36 if we mod 100. And 6 cubed congruent to 16 if I mod 100. And 60 to the power 4 congruent to 96 if I mod 100. And 60 to the power 5 congruent to 76 if I mod 100. And 6 to the power of 6 congruent to 56 if I mod 100. And 6 to the power of 7 congruent to 36 if I mod 100. Then you can find out a pattern here. You can find out a pattern here. Okay, so this is the way we find out the 6 to the power of 2015. So remember, let's ignore the first one. So we have 2014, we divide by 5. So 5 as a group, so the answer is, I don't know what else, what's the answer, but I know the remainder is 4. I know the remainder is 4. That means the last 2 digits must be 76. Must be 76. And what else? 2015 times 6. This one, the last 2 digits must be something 90. Something 90. Okay, so now the last one, I need to find out 2015. But do I need to calculate 2015? No, we just focus on the, because the last 2 digits will influence the result of the last 2 digits. So 15 congruent to 15 if I mod 100. And 15 squared, I congruent to 25 if I mod 100. And 15 cubed congruent to 75 if I mod 100. And 15 to the power of 4, we congruent to 25 if I mod 100. Okay, so actually we just find out the last one is 25. So yeah, 25, 75, 25, 75. So 2015 to the power 6 should congruent to 25 if I mod 100. Okay, if I mod 100. Then after that, if I want to calculate the last two digits, it's just 76 plus 90 plus 25 equals to 91. Equals to 91. Okay, so here is our last two digits. This is our last two digits. Hey, so now let's look at our question 18. Let's look at our question 18. So find the sum of digits of 10 to the power of 23 minus 20. 10 to the power of 23 minus 20. So firstly, what is 10 to the power of 23? Well, find 10 to the power of 23. Is a kind of how many digit number? It's a kind of 24 digit number. All right. And what else? If I just directly minus 20, we need to do a lot of carryover. I need to borrow the digits. I need to borrow digits. So it will be very hard. But now I can write down 10 to the power of 23 actually is 9999 plus 1. So this one, I can ignore the what? I can ignore the carryover, right? So how many 9 do we have? Remember, the original one is 24 digits. That means this time I have 23, 9. I have 23, 9. So 10 to the power of 23 minus 20 equals to 99979. Okay? So that means I have 21, 9. I have 21, 9. So 20. Then don't forget I plus. Actually, the answer is 990. So I have 21, 9. So after that, if I want to find out the sum of digits of 10 to the power of 23 minus 20, how can I do? Yes, I just count 21 times 9. After that, I just plus one more 8. So here is the sum, which is 197, which is 197. Okay, so here is the things. Here is this kind of question. So it's not so hard. You just be careful about that. Okay, you just be careful about that. So now let's look at question 19. This is a very easy one. So you draw the diagram like here. This is A. This is C. So Mr. Wang travels from A to B at a speed of 60 kilometers per hour, right? And then he then travels from B to C without stopping at B at 45 kilometers per hour. Right, so given that AB to BC equals to 2 to 1, so B is here, right? B is here. So now, this is 60 kilometers per hour. This part is 45 kilometers per hour. And I want to find out Mr. Wang's average speed without throughout the journey, right? So you assume this part is 2s, this is s. So the average speed, remember, the average speed equals to the total distance divided by the total time. So what is the total distance? What is total distance divided by the time? What is the total time? 2s over 60 plus s over. Solve this very easy fraction. Simplify this very easy fraction. You can find out the answer is 54. Okay, the answer is 54. So we can find out that actually the average speed of this journey is just 54 kilometer per hour. 54 kilometer per hour. Now let's look at our question 20. Question 20. Yeah. Once you see this diagram, I think it's not the first time you see this question. We know AB equals to 60, BC equals to 40, and the H is 24 centimeter lower than F, and the G is 10 centimeter to the left of E. Okay, so this question I have already given you the hint, right? So 24 centimeter lower than F and 10 centimeter of E. So that means I need to measure, I need to label this distance. So here I can draw a line here. I draw a straight line perpendicular to AB, and I draw F perpendicular to AD. Okay, now can you label this 24 and 10? Right? You draw here and here. So now I can label this 24 and 10. This part is 24. This part is 10. This part is 24 and this part is 10. Okay, so now let's find out. What do I need to find out? I need to find out this quadrilateral. So actually, these two lines, actually we separate into some part. I separate into 9 parts, right? So let's think about each one. So let's firstly look at this triangle. This triangle actually is same as the triangle DGH. So it's just a half of this rectangle. And now let's look at this yellow part. It's this yellow part. This one is also half of this on the left bottom small rectangle, right? This is also half of that one. Now let's think about this blue part. You can see this blue part, the right bottom rectangle. It's also the right bottom rectangle. And finally, let's look at this red part. Okay, let's look at this red part. You can find out this red part actually is also half of the right top rectangle. So now the only things we don't know is what? The middle part, right? But do we know the middle part? Yes, the middle part is just 10 times 24. That's the reason why the question tell you 10 and 24 here. Okay, so now we can find a very interesting things. The area of this quadrilateral EFGH actually is 40 times 60. But remember, we don't never consider the middle part. So that means we minus this 24 times 10. And remember, each green, blue, red, and yellow triangle is just half of that rectangle. So we just divide by 2. We just divide by 2. And after that, when we calculate the quadrilateral, we still need to plus this question mark, right? We still need to plus this question mark. We need to plus 24 times 10. We need to plus 24 times 10. So this one equals to 2400 minus 240 divided by 2. Then plus 240. So the answer will be 1,320. 1,320. Okay, so this is about the question 20. So it seems a little hard, but once you find out the hint 24 and 10, then draw this kind of diagram. You can easily find out it's full of the half model. It's full of the half model. Okay, so yeah, this is all about the second. You can see some of the question is a little hard, but most question is very kind to you. Very kind to you. But be careful about the calculation. Be careful about the calculation. Okay. So now let's look at the real challenge something. So section C. The first question is very hard. Okay. This is very hard. I can tell you the answer is 17. And if you want to know the full solution, I will later send into the group. Okay. You can read and find out that answer. So I don't have enough time for here to run through it. So now let's directly look at this 22. Right. So this ABCD is robust, and with AD equals to 24. That means all the things is 24, right? All the things is 24. And we know DE is perpendicular to CE. This is a right angle. And DE equals to CE. DE equals to CE. That means what? That means I have an isosceles right angle triangle. I have an isosceles right angle triangle. So we can easily get DE equals to EC equals to 24 over root 2. This one is 12 root 2, right? This one is 12 root 2. Now I want to find out the shaded region. So our way is very important. How to calculate that? I can use the bigger triangle, right, to minus the smaller part. So this time, maybe I can just use the triangle ABC minus triangle EFC. Minus triangle EFC, right? Okay. So now, maybe I can give you some time to calculate that, but actually it's very easy. So firstly, I know this DCE is a kind of isosceles triangle, right? So that means this part is 45 degrees. This part exactly 45 degrees. And then what else? If I draw the extended line, this is also 45 degrees. This is also 45 degrees, right? Then what else can we find? What else can we find? Okay, any idea? What else can we find? We know this is 45 degrees. That means if I want to calculate the area of this, we can easily get what? We can easily get the height of this triangle ABC. We can easily get the height of this triangle ABC. Okay? So now if I draw a perpendicular line, you can easily get out the answer. So triangle ABCD's area equals to what? ABCD's area equals to, maybe you just use this one, 24 times 12 root 2 equals to 288 root 2. And how about triangle ABC? It's just the half of this rhombus, right? So it will become just 144 root 2. Then we assume this EF equals to X, okay? EF equals to X. So we can find EF over DF equals to EC over AD. So this is a parallelogram, right? Because two parallel, we can have the similar triangle. We have the similar triangle. Then we can find X over 12 root 2 minus X equals to 12 root 2 over 24. Then after that, you can try to solve that. It will become X over 12 root 2 minus X equals to root 2 over 2. So we can find out 2x equals to 24 minus root 2x. So x equals to 24 over 2 plus root 2. So x equals to 24 over 2 times 2 minus root 2. So we can find x equals to 24 minus 12 root 2. Okay, so this is the value of x. Then we can easily get triangle EFC's area equals to what? EFC's area equals to 12 root 2 times 24 minus 12 root 2, then divide by 2. Actually equals to 6 root 2 times 24 minus 12 root 2. You can get out the answer is 144 root 2 minus 144. Okay, so now what is the answer? Remember, we should use triangle ABC minus triangle EFC, which is 144 root 2 minus 144 root 2 plus 144. So the answer is 144. Okay, so the answer equals to 144. So here is the shaded part. Okay. Okay, so now let's look at our 23. 23 is a little kind. It's very kind. So we know we have AB. We have two different natural numbers. They both only contain prime factors 2 and 3. So AB, do the white letter to do the separate, it will become 12m and n, right? So we can know A equals to 12m, B equals to 12n. This one equals to 2 to the power of 2 times 3 times n, and this is 2 to the power of 2 times 3 times n. And remember, we have no other common factor, right? We have no other common factor. So mn only can be what? 2 or 3 or something else. 2 or 3 or something else, right? Okay, so we can find out, but we have 12 factors. That means how many factors do we have? We use the exponent plus 1, then times up. So m equals to 2 to the power of 3. N equals to 3 to the power of 2. Then we can make sure that we only have 12 factors. Okay, so a equals to 2 to the power of 5 times 3 equals to 96. B equals to 2 to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of 3 equals to 108. Equals to 108. So this might so we can find out the answer is just 204. The answer is 204. Okay. So now let's look at our question 24. So for question 24, we can find out that 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus blah 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 plus 2k actually equals to a number square, right? A square, we just assume. So we can find k times k plus 1 divided by 2 equals to a squared. So now remember, k and k plus 1 must be one odd number and one even number. So we can write down like odd number times even number divided by 2 equals to a square number, a perfect square number. So remember how we can find out perfect square number. Remember, only two perfect square number times up will become a perfect square number. So this one must be m squared, right? So we can write this one must be m squared and this one must be n squared, okay? So we can separate m squared and n squared. And also this odd number and even number, they are co-prime. They are co-prime. Okay, so now we have find out that. So now another thing is very important. Since they are co-prime, so can you tell me what is the range? Remember, this is a 4-digit number. That means the range of m times n must be smaller or equals to 99 and bigger or equals to 32, right? Must be bigger or equals to 32 and smaller or equals to 99. And also m squared and 2n squared must be consecutive. Then you can find m actually should bigger or equals to 7 or smaller or equals to 12. So m equals to 7, m squared equals to 49, and n squared times 2 equals to 50. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. So we can set a squared equals to 7 times 5 squared equals to 1225. If m equals to 9, okay, remember m is the odd number, right? M equals to 9, m squared equals to 81. So n squared times 2, it should become 120 or 122. Is it possible? Obviously not. It's impossible. And what else? If m equals to 11, then m squared have already been 121. This one, yes, also cannot. Okay, this one also cannot. So we can find out that the only possible n equals to 1225. The only possible n equals to 1225. Okay. So now let's look at the question 25. You can find that 25 actually is a very easy question. So we know BC equals to 8 and D and E are points on AB and AC respectively. So we know CD equals to DE. Uh-huh. And angle DB equals to angle EDA. These two angles are same. So then we have the same angle and we have the same line. So I can just draw a perpendicular line, right? Here, let's name it F. So we can easily triangle EFD congruent to triangle DBC. There are two congruent triangles. So that means this part is 8, this part is 8. And what else? We know if the area of triangle EDC is 50 centimeters, because they are two right angle triangle. So that means, and also congruent. So this EDC must be 90 degrees. This one must be 90 degrees. And after that, we can find out EDC is 50 centimeters square. That means we can easily calculate ED equals to 10. We can find out ED equals to 10. So this triangle must be 6, 8, 10. Use the Pythagorean theorem. You can easily find out it's 6, 8, 10. Then the question asks us to find out AB. Yes, that's very easy. Because EF is parallel to BC, we can easily find out triangle AEF is similar to triangle ACB. So we have EF over BC equals to AF over AB, right? We can find out this similar triangle. So now let's take the place. EF equals to what? EF equals to 6, BC equals to 8. And AF equals to what? We don't know. But how about AB? We can write down AF plus 8 plus 6 plus 14. Okay? So after that, to simplify 3 and 4. So 3AF plus 42 equals to 4AF. So then we can get AF equals to 42. We can get AF equals to 42. So AB equals to what? AB equals to 42 plus 14 equals to 56. Okay, then we can get this answer is 56. Actually, this one, why it's not so hard? Because this is a kind of fill in the blank question. You don't need to write down all the solution. You don't need to write down all the steps step by step to find out the answer. Yeah, you can just guess. I think most of you can draw the perpendicular line, then guess this EDC equals to 90 degrees. It's very easy, right? So you'll find out that, yeah, after that, all the things will be super easy. It will be super easy. So I think this paper, yeah, give you a data. So my CO class students, not one, yes, they can just do more than 50. They can just do more than 50 plus. Okay. So, but I think the last 5 questions they can get almost about more than 3 questions. Okay. The 21 and 24 maybe a little hard, but all the remaining is very easy. They can all get it correct. And sometimes, yes, the some question in section A and section B, they get some mistakes. But actually, I have to say this sample paper is not so hard. It's not so hard. Okay. And some of the question in section A and section B is harder than the real paper. And some of the question in section 2, the real paper is much harder. It's much harder. And if you want to have a review of that, so my suggestion is focus on what? Focus on the number theory. Okay, focus on the number theory. And remember some, like the question 22, like the question 24, you need to find out some relationship about perfect square number. This is very important. Remember, we have already learned before. So have a review, okay? I hope you can have a review. But of course, later I will share some concept of videos to the public, okay? So any more question, you can type in the chat box. Okay, any more questions? Sure. If no more question, we just stop here. Okay. So any more questions, you can just ask after that. I will also send the whole solution into the group. Okay. See you next time. Bye bye.